You've got it on 2K Sports as we here are the 5 for the Raptors. In at the forward spots, we'll see Barrett and Barnes. Emmanuel quickly out there with Ingram. And it's Pirtle in at center. And for the Celtics, White in at shooting guard with Brown playing small forward. The post pair, Tatum and Porzingis. And it's Holiday in at the point. All the talk, Greg, leading up to this one has been about the impact of the backcourt.
And that's where it all starts. When you have a confident and competent backcourt, it just opens up a lot of things for you offensively. That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Barrett against White. A 3 from Quickly. And Tatum pulls it down. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for the Celtics. It's Brown on the wing. And Pirtle pulls it down. And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. Ingram deciding where to go with it. To the middle. Feeds away. 2 points. That one goes. Austin with the ball. Stan, you talk about a stacked roster. It's hard to find many weaknesses for the Celtics.
Yeah, Kevin, there's a reason the Executive of the Year award went to Boston's front office last season. The Celtics are built right, and they're built to last.
Using the bounce, Tatum just explodes to the hoop so quick.
And that one's good quickly.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
And it's White missing. Raptors are gone. 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Didn't think that was going to go in.
And known for the jump shot, Ingram needs to keep firing away with confidence from that spot.
Porzingis, good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Once he gets in deep on the defense, there is no way he's missing a layup like that.
Now, here's Quickly. Pass to Pirtle. Over Porzingis. Out to Barrett. Back to Pirtle. And the dunk by Pirtle.
And you see the passing instincts Barrett has. Great at recognition out on the floor.
And Brown throws it down.
Oh, fellas, that was vicious two-hand monster swing.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one. Stolen by Holiday. And pushing it up, here's Boston. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And that's simply Tatum making the hustle play, wanting it more than the opposition.
Pass to Pirtle, throws down the alley-oop slam.
And he pulls off the Houdini to make that catch and slam it through.
Stupendous alley-oop. Tatum on the wing, covered by Barnes, and slam dunk by Tatum.
Tatum good for at least one highlight finish a night. This guy is box office.
And that one's good, Barnes.
And defensively, that's just not going to cut it.
And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for the Celtics. 4-point game. With every passing season, Quickly's role seems to expand.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, he's had to prove himself over and over. And now that he has, I don't think you'll find nearly as many doubters as he had when he first came into the league.
Toronto leading by 7. And with an update from the sideline, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. I caught up with Coach Joe Mazzulla, so we started to talk about R.J. Barrett. coach complimented him, saying he's got great energy, a great build, and he knows how to score. So I'm telling you guys to stick to him like glue and just keep the pressure on. We'll see if that high-pressure defense can shut Barrett down tonight. Kevin?
Thank you, David.
And look, Brown is good at capitalizing inside, which is why the defense has to push him further away.
Now here's Ingram. Pass to Barrett. From past the arc. And it's White with the rebound. Celtics trail by 7. Knocked loose. Quickly the pass to Barnes. Barrett against Brown. Porzingis with the block.
And just fast off the floor to challenge shots. Porzingis, this helps him get a lot of blocks like that one.
That shot is off. Jakob Poeltl, he's feeling it tonight, and he's been the driving force. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And what do you guys think about the Raptors here so far in this one?
Yeah, in that first period, they looked to push in transition at every opportunity.
Yeah, they gave the other team no time to breathe. Every time they got the ball, they were off to the races. And you see how effective this aggressive mindset can be.
So for Toronto right now, we've got Chris Boucher, and it's Mobo in at the power forward. Celtics trail by 5. Pass to Pritchard. And he's good on the 3-ball. Pritchard's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And the defense of this Raptors team, Greg, they are built to switch.
And it's no accident with their roster construction. They like having wings that can guard all 5 positions. Makes defending a much easier prospect.
Here's Pritchard. Pass to Craig. Shot clock at 6. No good. That would have tied it. Toronto's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. They get it back. Jake with it. Here's the 3. Good on the triple.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Pritchard passes to Horford. Here's Pritchard. Back to Horford. And a dunk by Horford.
Well-timed play there, and that's Horford at his finest. Smooth roll, aggressive finish.
Pass to Mobo. There's the triple. That one also a miss for him, just like the other 3 attempts this game. Here's Pritchard. Here's Shireman, still without a basket. Fires the 3. Kept alive. Pass to Battle. Lets it go with the 3. Drains it from beyond the arc. And the Raptors lead by 6.
Well, it's a 3-point shooting league. Guys like him are so important for spacing.
Count the basket.
And it's the long arms and broad shoulders that make Horford such a tough matchup inside. Teams try to get physical with him, but he's usually up to the challenge.
Here's Battle. Out left to the wing. Boucher passes to Dick. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Battle misses.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
And Lawson with the block. Launches a 3. Sinks the 3-pointer. Battle's got 6 points. All right, Stan, hypothetical situation. Down 1, shot clock is off. If you could pick anyone in the NBA, who do you want taking that shot?
Well, I'm going to go back in time a little bit, Kevin. The guy who really made my career for me as a head coach. I'm taking Dwayne Wade. He was the best that I ever saw. Not only did he have the ability to make clutch shots, he managed the game clock as well as anybody I've ever seen.
The situation was never too big for him, was it?
Never was, and he's so smart in addition to being as talented as he was.
Here's Hauser. Nothing on the board. Yep, it counts.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Pass to Dick. Over to the left wing. Handle. That three off the mark. Celtics trail by 5. 55 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Here's Shireman. It's rebounded by Dick. Toronto shooting the ball at 42%. From the arc. Mobo can't hit.
Well, you can't question his confidence from out there, but it's not falling. Maybe time for a different approach.
Raptors leading by 5. There's the lob to the hoop. And the dunk by Boucher.
Playing with high energy, outworking the defense up the floor.
Yeah, the commitment to run is paying great dividends on the break.
Got to run the clock and wait for the last shot.
Yeah, unless it's a gimme, there's no reason to put up an early shot here. Unselfish basketball. That's what coaches love to see.
There's the three. Knocks down the three ball. Pritchard's got 6 points.
Matching baskets from the perimeter, an earmark of today's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
And so it's the Toronto Raptors heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. And their three-point shooting has paved the way for them. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. Toronto leading by 7. The post pair, Tatum and Porzingis. Holiday in the backcourt. To his side is White. And it's Brown in at the small forward position. That's the Boston 5. And they're moving it up. Here's Tatum. Tatum finishing off the break.
Aggressive move coming out of the half, penetrating into the heart of the defense.
Well, that's how to start the second half strong. Going right at the rim and building some positive momentum.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, I like how they're establishing their interior presence right away. That's going to collapse the defense and create other opportunities.
Quickly kicks to Ingram. Buries the long-range jumper. He has 6.
And you love the work Ingram has put into his shot. You can put him in the corner now and force the defense to extend.
The three from Tatum. He's 4 for 6 from the field with that miss. Raptors with the lead. Fires from deep. And stolen by White. On the wing, Holiday. Here's Brown. And it's Ingram with the rebound. Brown's gone 2 for 6 from the floor so far. Over in the corner, Barnes. No good with the triple. And so it's Porzingis. He'll bring it up for the Boston Celtics. And the conversation for Porzingis, coach, tends to always come back to health. And what a challenge that has been for him.
Yeah, Kevin, over his career, on average, he's missed about 30 games per season. But that's not an uncommon problem, as you know, for players who stand well over 7 feet tall.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Kevin, thanks. Jaylen Brown has put it all together. He said, I'm figuring out my spots to be aggressive. That's in my DNA. But also showing how I've grown. Being a great screener, delivering passes on time and on target. That's important to being a great teammate. I'm focused on being a better basketball player. Kevin?
Yeah, and he's a smart one too, right, David? He is something else. Outstanding stuff, DA, as always. Pass to Pirtle, deflects the pass, and it goes out of bounds. That went off Porzingis.
And he jumped out to that ball immediately. Great reaction on that deflection.
Yeah, and you know they're tracking the tips and deflections because that tells you who's affecting the game.
and they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Look, when the three is falling like this, there's not a whole lot you can do defensively.
Barrett against White.
2 minutes remaining.
Now, quickly.
2 minutes.
Shot clock at 5. The kick out to Barnes. And it's off from three-point range. And the call will be against Emmanuel Quickly.
Emmanuel Quickly.
That's his first foul.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Quickly against Holiday. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And one of the most respected players in the NBA is Drew Holiday.
Yeah, Kevin, he's a 3-time Teammate of the Year award winner. He's also a Sportsmanship Award winner. He is a pro's pro.
And the Raptors going out now with a whole new group. So the wing on the left, they get a hand on it. Here's Shireman. Dick defending. Shireman, good.
Terrific ball movement leading to the basket. You love to see it.
An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Pritchard, he's checked in for the Celtics. Celtics trail by 8. Here's Shireman, and he uses the glass on the layup. Shireman's got 4 points in the quarter. Toronto, they've gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. It's good from long range. And the Raptors lead by 9.
And guys, there are some you can give that shot to, but let's be clear, he's not one of them. Terrible job there by the D.
Here's Pritchard. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Pritchard's got 9.
Matching baskets from the perimeter, an earmark of today's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Raptors leading by 6. Here's Battle. That one falls, coming off Lawson's feet. Lawson's got 3 assists in the game. Here's Pritchard. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Here's Mobo. Good if it goes. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And so it's Toronto in control with the 9-point. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this was?
Yeah, that's great decision making and one that embodies a team-first mindset.
The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. On the court for Toronto to start the fourth. They've got Dick, and it's Battle in at the 3. Took him no time at all on that one.
3 points.
Battle's got the lead up to 12 now for the Raptors. Celtics shooting a respectable 47% from the field in this one. Here's Pritchard. That one goes. Count it.
I mean, if the defender is going to play off like that, then you know what's going to happen. There are going to be points put on the board.
Boucher. And the 3 off target. And the Celtics with possession here. Craig with it to the right side. A shot by Pritchard, no good. Pass to Mobo. His 3-pointers off the mark. And so Horford will bring it up for the Celtics. Trailing by 10. Tries again. And Craig puts it in.
Plays like that make a coach's life easy. Love the work rate he shows on the glass to get the score.
In the corner, it's Boucher. Here's Dick. And again, Toronto no up. The Celtics have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Clearly a foul.
And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Raptors.
Well, they've been hitting threes at a high clip, and the defense hasn't done enough to challenge them at the line. They need to close out and run them off the three.
And the other thing that stands out is just how well they have moved the ball. Everyone's touching it and having a chance to create.
Here's Brown, and oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That one on Jakob Poeltl.
Tricky move by Brown inside, making sure he gets the whistle and completes his motion.
Boston making a switch here. White's checked in, and Brown drops them both. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Driving to the basket. And here's Ingram from the arc, and Tatum pulls it down. Tatum's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Brown. And that one is good. Brown's got 4 this quarter.
And you've got to love the energy right now. They got hot when they absolutely had to.
Well, you love their execution to get back in it. This game's very much in reach for them.
To the inside. And Holiday kicks to Tatum to tie it up. Inside, Tatum! And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Celtics.
Well, all you can ask for is your guys to be really active on D, and they've been more than that tonight.
And not just that, they're also forcing turnovers at a high rate and taking advantage in transition.
Near the three-point line, it's Ingram. And again, no good by Toronto.
That wasn't a bad shot. Defense playing a little loose there. Sometimes it just doesn't go in.
Holiday against Quickly. 6 on the shot clock. Tatum kicks to Brown. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist. Tatum's got 3 assists in the game.
And he just seems to always deliver in the clutch, and he's got it going right now. That's who they want taking the big shot.
And there's the foul. It's on Jaylen Brown. That is his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Ingram passes to Quickly. 5 on the clock. Barnes screen on Brown. Barrett for 3.
Well, you could really feel Brown's defensive focus there. He was determined to affect the shot.
And allowing this to go no further. He stops a 15-0 run by the Celtics.
Tatum down low. Arms on him. And the Raptors shooting for the game at 42%. Quickly kicks to Barrett. Here's the screen. From outside, off the mark. Boston's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Right down low. He's covered by Ingram. Tatum against Barnes. Got a piece of it. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Barnes sets a screen for Barrett. Pass to Ingram. Poeltl with a screen on White. White against Ingram. And taken away by Brown. And the call will be against Emmanuel Quickly. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Poeltl with the steal.
And that steal could not have been more important, guys. They had to make a play right then, right there. And what a huge sequence that could be.
Wow, a play that might come to define this game.
That might be the play of the game.
And so Boston again turning it over. The A deep three from Ingram. And so the big win by Toronto in a tight game. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
there's the risk of guys getting hurt throughout the season. So the teams know the value of having a very deep rotation, and they make the most of their bench, which is smart.
So a look at the starters for the Pacers. Siakam at power forward with Turner in at center. Halliburton and Nembhard, the 1 and the 2. And it's Nesmith in at the 3 slot. Back to Brown. And the shot is good on the assist by Tatum.
You do not want to give up passing lanes off the screen. How about Jason Tatum with a decisive look there?
Halliburton, the pass to Nesmith. And Jaylen Brown gets a whistle that time. That's his first foul.
Tough break for the defense. I mean, he took the hit, but he didn't get the call.
Boston on D. Nesmith passes to Siakam. Launches it, and looks like an illegal pick was set. That gets the ref's attention.
One of the trickier plays to judge, but it would be hard to argue against the call.
It is really difficult to get your feet completely set, to stay completely still. It's almost surprising to me that it isn't called more often.
The kick to Tatum from behind the arc. And the rebound goes to the Pacers.
Boy, a wide open shot from his favorite spot. That is one he'd like to have back.
You know, it's easy to focus on Jason Tatum scoring. But Doris, he's excellent in a number of areas.
Brian, he's a high-level rebounder. He now knows how to keep his teammates involved. He's competitive on the defensive end and willing to absorb a big-time assignment. He has got a complete game.
And the expression, not enough touches to go around. Do the Celtics risk falling into that trap, Doris?
Well, first and foremost, B.A., if that's a problem for you, it's a good one to have. I think the key here is with all the weapons available, you have to have some personal sacrifice. And to this point, this team has been willing to do that.
Now here's Halliburton. And Indiana misses again. Poke loose. And it's Tatum with the ball for the Boston Celtics. Tatum slams it home.
Well, Jason Tatum has worked hard to fill out his frame. It's not going to bother him that you're bringing a level of physicality.
Halliburton, no good. The Celtics have gone 2 of 3 from the floor. Brown. Oh, and Turner with a block. Nesmith on the wing, hounded by Tatum. Nembhard outside. The 3 is up. And they recover it. Brown with it. Turner covering. Here's White. Good. And Brown gets the assist.
Oh, that's impactful defense right there. Finding a steal and instantly turning it into offense. And you never want to give a shooter like him a clean look.
Now let's send it over to Allie LaForce, who was able to talk with Joe Mazzulla.
He said one person we cannot overlook is Tyrese Halliburton. He said the guy has a major impact on the game, even when he's not scoring, which he usually is. He sets the tempo for the team. He can defend, rebound, pass the ball. Kid's got it all. Guys.
Thank you for that, Allie.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
Tatum inside. He's covered by Siakam. No luck on that one. Indiana trailing here. Three-pointer, Halliburton. The shot off that time. Ooh, good work defensively by Holiday. Here's Brown. Again, the miss by Boston. And Halliburton has got the ball here for Indiana. They set the screen. There's Nesmith with the 3. On target from range. Nesmith's got 9.
There is something special about a crisp, on-time, on-target passer. Mr. Halliburton, how you doing?
Takes a 3. Nesmith's shot is off. The Celtics have gone 3 of 8 so far. White for 3. The rebound by Nesmith. 1:19 left to play in the first quarter. The 3. Offensive rebound. The 3. Jaylen Brown with a rebound. Boston has gone 0 for 3 from downtown. Launches it from deep. And Nesmith good for 3. 12 points for him.
He's the last guy you want to leave alone on the perimeter.
Outside, Brown. And he drives in. And the jam by Brown.
This guy's so dangerous on the drive, and if Brown has an opportunity to finish strong, there's going to be no doubt.
Outside Neesmith. This one for three. Tatum pulls it in. Tatum's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's Porzingis. Oh, it's Porzingis with the jam.
Well, 7'3" doesn't need much of a vertical, easy finish for KP.
Turner, no good. About 3 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. To the paint. Here's the teardrop, and Porzingis with a layup.
Well, that's a nice play. You've got to read the situation and go to your floater game when necessary.
Steps back. Halliburton, the pass to Neesmith. That three's off the mark. Now here's Tatum. He's guarded by Nembhard. They get the rebound. Oh, Siakam with the block. Great positioning on the putback. Offense is coming free and easy as we wrap up the first. It's the Celtics. And for those of you just tuning in, second quarter action is where we are. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Boston.
They've been really going at the defense in the painted area, and so far the opposition really hasn't had an answer for them.
I think the other thing they're doing is they're wearing out the opponent in transition, exploding up the floor for easy chances.
Torrey Craig out there with Al Horford. Then there's Peyton Pritchard, and it's Shireman in at the 2. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Celtics.
And once more this half, they find a way to get great position inside.
Well, there's no question. Pascal Siakam has raised the ceiling of this Pacers team.
Yeah, absolutely. He complements Halliburton's up-tempo style very well. And defensively, he shores things up with his ability to guard 1 through 5.
That one falls.
And that was a case of great anticipation skills on defense, sparking the transition game.
And that's exactly how you get yourself into transition. The gamble pays off.
You can tell the moment the pass left his hands, he knew he messed up.
Bradley, he's checked in for Bryant. Pass to Shireman. To the wing on the left. Here's Pritchard, 5 on the clock. Shoots over Shepherd. The putback, controls the rebound and the putback.
That's great work on the glass. That kind of hustle play can energize your team.
Closing in on 2 minutes played here in the second. Shepherd, that's good.
Slow reaction from the D, and it cost him 3.
Celtics lead by 4. Here's Pritchard, fires the 3. Walker pulls down the board.
That's exactly how you have to defend him on the perimeter. Can't allow any space.
Oh! A big finish right there!
He destroyed the rim. And not often we get treated to a solo alley-oop.
Takes precision timing for sure. Now here's Horford. Still without a bucket. Hauser passes to Horford. Here's Hauser. Late clock, the Celtics got to hurry here. Here's Pritchard. Indiana with a rebound.
This has not been his best quarter.
And you know what? They keep calling his number, and they're simply trying to get him out of this funk.
Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Brian, the Pacers love to push it up. Tyrese Halliburton said it's our biggest strength. Teams don't want to run with us. They know when you play us, have your track shoes ready, especially if you're coming off of a back-to-back or you have a packed schedule. You do not want to see us. Brian, they have their identity.
No doubt about that, and it starts with him.
Oh, what a pleasure to watch Al Horford go to work. Does all the right things, and that time gets an easy dunk.
Toppin outside. All right, Doris, what do you think separates the good teams from the great teams in crunch time?
Boy, I think there's a lot of things, Brian, that separate that. Number one, can you execute on both ends when it's a clutch game? Can you absorb the pressure of a moment, understanding time and score, how to get a quality shot on every possession, how to string together multiple stops? Can you make shots under duress of great defense? There are so many things that differentiate between the good and the championship. There's no quitting this guy. He just gives you great effort, and he continues to give you great production.
Toppin outside. And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. And here's Shepard for 3. And Craig pulls it down. Celtics lead by 5. Out to the wing. Lets it go. Again, the Celtics good for 2 more. Indiana's gone 2 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the second. There's Shepard. That one a tad offline, but it drops in for him. Shepard's got 5 points now this quarter. For Boston, they've gotten 6 of 10 shots to drop in the second. Nice work. Here's Pritchard. Here's Horford. Indiana with a rebound. End of quarter management here. They can go 2 for 1.
Make the math work in your favor.
Here's Toppin. Drives to the hoop. And a slam dunk by Toppin.
If you let Toppin penetrate, he is tremendous finishing. Boy, don't let him get off the dribble drive.
Here's Pritchard. Hits the trifecta. Pritchard's got 10.
Wow, you don't see him left alone very often, and of course, he makes good use of it.
1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. Walker passes to Matherin. Toppin outside. Craig with a steal. And there's the call on Al Horford. That's his first foul.
I love great defense. Just quick to establish his feet, and he takes the hit.
Number 3, Thomas.
5 ticks left to play in the first half. For 3, Matherin. Oh, did he get it off in time? He did! How about that?
Are you serious? That was incredible.
What a way to see.
Allie, as always, thank you. We'll be back right after the break for the third quarter here on 2K Sports. And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been a fairly even one. One of the stories here, Aaron Nesmith. He's getting it done today.
I love how effortlessly he scored. The game just comes so easy for him.
And let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
Second half underway. Here's who Rick Carlisle's got on the floor. Halliburton and Nembhard, the 1 and the 2. Nesmith and Siakam are the forwards. And it's Turner in at the 5.
I love a Jason Tatum not settling for a jumper. He goes to the rim with authority.
Doris, it seems like every year Tatum's name is right atop the MVP ballot.
To me, Brian, it speaks not only to his talent, but also his consistency and the work ethic. The game is important to him. He's versatile. He's clutch. He's everything you want in a star player.
One thing about the Pacers, Doris, they can flat out score the basketball.
It is incredible to me, B.A., how infrequently the ball sticks. They play fast, whether in transition or in the half court. They make defenses work.
Halliburton with the ball. Porzingis picks him up defensively. Nesmith's shot is off. Boston leading by 3. And here's Brown for 3. It's Brown on the wing. Fires the 3. The rebound by Turner. Turner's got 4 rebounds in the game. Siakam the screen. Here's Nesmith. Porzingis grabs the board. Porzingis has got 4 rebounds in the game. Here's Tatum. It's not going to go for him.
Well, this is the kind of shot we've come to expect him to make. He's got to be upset with that one.
Pass to Nesmith. Siakam with a screen on Brown. There's Nesmith with a 3. And once again, off the mark by Indiana. Tatum with it. Picked up by Nesmith. They grab their own miss.
Well, you've got size and length, so Kristaps Porzingis, the extra possession.
Pacers trail by 5. They set the pick. For from outside the arc. Nembhard, good. Nembhard's gotten himself going with a triple, his first basket of the game.
He took what the defense was giving him that time. There was nobody on him on the three-point shot. Boy, don't give him the lights out.
Here's Brown on the... Whoa! Jaylen Brown! A big-time finish.
Oh, my goodness. How about that move by Jaylen Brown? That is spectacular.
And so Holiday will bring it up for Boston. 4-point game. And here's Brown for three. It's rebounded by Pascal Siakam. The Pacers have gotten only 2 of 7 shots to go in the third quarter. Outside Nesmith. Let's go with a three. They get it back. On the wing, Nembhard. Second shot opportunity. Right side, Nesmith. 5 to shoot. No good from outside. He got his defender off his feet with a pump fake, but couldn't knock it down. Tatum against Siakam. Three-pointer, Holiday. Counted from distance. And it's a 7-point Boston lead.
With balance and good rhythm, Holiday serves as an effective catch-and-shoot player.
And they go to the intentional foul.
I mean, I'm just not sure what he was thinking right there. I mean, he needs to get his head in the game.
We got a line change here for Boston. Pass to Shepherd. Here's the screen by Bryant. And that's good. Shepherd for three. Shepherd's got 8.
Defensively, you can't afford to get stuck on the pick.
You know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
In a tight game, they wanted to make sure of that possession.
Here's Shepherd. 1:03 left in the third quarter. Toppin goes in. And a slam dunk by Toppin.
Obi Toppin about 220, 230, and he is able to absorb the contact and complete his move. Tremendous finish.
Pass to Shireman. Here's Hauser. Here's Pritchard. Here's Hauser. Second chance shot. From downtown. And it's Shireman missing. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Pass to Shepherd. Back to Mathurin. Another three for Indiana.
Boy, a lot of confidence to Mathurin's game. That efficiency has to get better, but he is not shy.
Pritchard tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark. And he's going for the lob. And a slam dunk by Toppin.
Beautiful setup on the alley-oop.
Great catch, great flush. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up. It's his first trip to the line. That free throw, no good.
At the line for 2, Al Horford.
Good on the second one.
Boy, the missed free throw there keeping this game at even. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them.
Horford with a steal. The three won't fall. Some impressive scoring and still a quarter to go. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, just shredding the defense with that feed. Zero chance to stop that.
Well, that's what a great pass will do, right? You love the unselfish play.
We've reached the fourth quarter in what has been a very competitive game. Could be an exciting finish. Al Horford out there with Torrey Craig. Then there's Peyton Pritchard, and it's Shireman in at the shooting guard. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. Out to Horford. Pass to Shireman. Here's Hauser. Yep, count it.
And you want him taking good shots at this point in the game. And that one was easy.
Boy, when it's this close, you try not to give up these kinds of buckets. Boy, you got to do better defensively.
Here's Pritchard. Craig. It's good on the putback. And the Celtics lead by 2.
He really gets in perfect position for the follow. Just a terrific read.
A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone now. And we're going to have a jump ball.
Jump ball.
Here's Shireman. Pass to Horford. Outside Craig. Banked it in off the glass. And now a 4-point Boston lead. And taking a quick gander here at the hustle stats for the Celtics.
Yeah, they've collected an impressive number of steals so far, using fast hands to force some turnovers and then scoring on the other end.
The other thing for this team today, they have a bunch of second chance points. They're turning misses into makes.
So Boston ends up going with a new group. A big group substitution here for Indiana. Miles Turner, he's checked in for Bryant. Neesmith comes in for Mathurin. Nimhart, he's checked in for Walker. And Tyrese Halliburton subbed in for Shepard. Pass to Neesmith. Off target with the three.
When you're not in rhythm with the three ball, why do you keep firing from there?
Here's Brown. Indiana with a rebound. Turner's got 7 rebounds in the game. There's Neesmith with the three. That's good. And Halliburton gets the assist. Neesmith's got 19 points.
They are unconscious from outside. And so far, the defense has had no answer.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
Pass to Halliburton. And there's a pick. Back to Turner for three. Gets the three ball to go. Turner's got his first 3 points of the game.
Wow, Miles Turner understanding it's my time because it's big time.
Outside Neesmith takes the three. Another three for Indiana. And breaking down some numbers here. The hustle stats for Indiana.
I mean, those swats, they can get into your head, make you think twice about shooting it. So it's about more than just those block numbers.
And their fast break has also been a key metric in this run. They have had a significant advantage in transition over the course of this game.
Right now, firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, there's a nice flow to this offense right now.
Three-pointer Holiday. Indiana with a rebound. Turner's got 9 rebounds now. And he lobs it up. Deflects the pass.
And adding to this lead right now. Riding a wave of momentum.
Well, if you continue to execute at both ends, you can build on this lead.
To the inside. Now here's Porzingis. And here's Brown for three. Boston again missing.
Sometimes you just have an off day, and this is one of those games for him.
Halliburton with the ball. Guarded now by Holiday. Out to the right wing. Topping against Tatum. Looking to end the run. JB on the break. Sensational.
Yeah, if you're going to be a franchise guy, you've got to want the ball in these clutch moments. Jaylen Brown doing work.
Every moment counts here. They have got to get moving.
This is the very definition of desperation time. You've got to score every trip. I'll tell you, most of the time, this guy's going to finish that. But that was tremendous defense that prohibits him from completing the play.
Three-pointer, Halliburton. Porzingis grabs the board.
I think he's gone completely dry. Nothing is hitting.
And this is where you hope that he can find something easy so he can see the ball go through the net.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Oh, he nails it! What a beautiful shot! Brings it within 3.
Man, you can get chills watching Jason Tatum want to deliver in the clutch.
Great read to get a hand in there and disrupt the play.
And offensively, a little bit of a careless toss. You could have used a better angle on that pass.
11 seconds left in the final quarter.
And looking to even the score with a huge three.
Greg, this is all about execution. Can you free an open man from the three-point line? That's what it comes down to.
And so it's the Pacers who come out on top here. And this was an emotional win for them.
paper, Greg, this might seem like a potential blowout. But anything can happen in this NBA.
Kevin, we see upsets happen all the time. It's what makes the sport great. You can't take any team or game for granted.
Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. The forward spots with Nesmith and Siakam. Halliburton in the backcourt, Nembhard to his side. And it's Turner in at the 5.
Nice effort taking the early lead. Here we go.
Take a nice deep breath. You score on that first possession. Gets the game started the right way.
Barrett, no good.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time. And the defense scattered all over the place on the break. Nice job finding the wide open 3.
Quickly against Halliburton. Nobody near Barnes. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. And Greg, we know the Pacers have to improve defensively. But where do they start?
Candidly, Kevin, I feel like they're too soft. But giving up offensive rebounds, cheap fouls, they've got to be tougher mentally and physically, especially on the interior.
Jacks up a 3. Nesmith can't get it to go. Outside, Barrett launches it. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
They're finding some room there on the perimeter. The lefty, R.J. Barrett, knocks it down.
Here's Nesmith. That 3 off target. Had some space there after the little pump fake. Barnes with it. Halliburton picks him up. In the corner, Barrett with it. Barnes outside. Clock at 6. Quickly with a wide open look. Off target from 3-point range. For Indiana, they've gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
Now, Halliburton processes so many things out there. He plays one step ahead of the rest.
And here is Quickly. After Tyrese Halliburton was able to get the triple. And that one's good. Ingram.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, both of them looking towards the 3-point line. And I like to see that, especially when the results are made buckets.
And the shot goes in from Siakam.
And he can answer with the best of them. Siakam stealing the thunder there.
And it's Halliburton missing.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Quickly with it. Halliburton picks him up from 20 feet out. Bertle's shot is off.
His touch from mid-range, and that's almost always good. That won't shake his confidence.
Yeah, you got to get out on that. Siakam demonstrating that ability to hurt you from beyond.
Seems like every time, Greg, we see Tyrese Halliburton, he's wearing a big smile on his face.
Talk about a guy who just loves this game. Halliburton is such an enthusiastic player, and that positive attitude really infects his entire team.
Drills it from outside.
When you find yourself up double digits in the first quarter, you know you're doing something right.
Well, dominant so far. That's the responsibility of the starters. Now let's see if everybody else who plays in this game makes the same kind of high-level contributions.
Here's Halliburton. Raptors knocking down the tray. There's the pick. Nesmith can't get it to go. Raptors trail by 8. And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Spoke earlier with Darko Rajakovic. Now, we spoke about the problems that Pascal Siakam brings to the table, and he told me Pascal is so good with room to operate, you need to find him in transition and take away space when he has the ball. Of course, that's easier said than done. Kevin, back to you.
All right, thank you, David. Nembhard with it. He's covered by Ingram. Pass to Nesmith. The 3-pointer off the mark. Toronto shooting a lowly 30% to start this game out. Barnes can't get it to go.
The D doesn't seem to be too worried about him from 3-point range, and he shows us why still. I expect him to make one of those.
Yeah, they've built up this lead 3 points at a time.
Well, a lot of importance placed on outside shooting, and tonight you can see why after that kind of quarter exploding from the perimeter. That's a needle in a haystack shot right there. You're not going to hit that one all that often.
A nice shot by Neesmith.
Guys, he's been a one-man air raid coming at them time and time again.
Kind of like he's in his living room right now. He's found a comfort zone. Once he gets that, the defense knows they're in trouble.
Near the three-point line. Wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
One eye on the rim,
and a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. Pacers lead by 10. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And taking a look at the Pacers' performance here, guys. What are your thoughts?
Coming in hot. They were sharp from the perimeter right out of the gate.
They just couldn't seem to know what it was that they needed to do and how to stick them from outside. The defense pretty lost.
On the court for the Pacers as our second quarter gets underway. We've got Obi Toppin. T.J. McConnell is out there with Shepard. Then there's Benedict Mathurin. And it's Walker in at the center position. Fast break. Here come the Raptors. Here's Mobo. Misses the three, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. Walker finds Mathurin. And once again off the mark by Indiana. Raptors trail by 10. Fast break. Here come the Raptors. And it's Shed missing. The Pacers have gone 0-3 and are still looking for that.
Lightning.
That was incredible.
You have got to be kidding.
Hey, talk about taking things into your own hands. Here's Shepard. Misses the three. Toronto's got nothing but zeros from long range in the second quarter. 0 of 4. The shot's good from Lawson.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
A three-pointer is right on target.
And I like the back and forth here, showing confidence from range.
It seems like they're going to find out who can make the deepest threes. Right now, it's a shootout.
And it's Shed missing. Pacers leading by 12. And a wide-open look for Mathurin. Three-pointer. And it's Toronto with the rebound. To the left wing. For three, Lawson nailed from three-point land. Lawson's got a pair of triples in the second now for Toronto. Mathurin for three. Doesn't get it to drop for him.
He just doesn't look like himself this quarter. Something's missing.
Well, he's missing, and it's starting to affect a little bit in his body language, and you just don't want to see that.
And now we've got some time to check in from the sideline. You got for us, DA?
Kevin, the Pacers obviously pushed the fast break. Tyrese Halliburton says the emphasis is getting outlets and running, playing fast. That's a good identity to have. It's a team that people want to play for, and it's a style you don't want to play against. You've got to be ready to play us. Kevin, the idea is for them to wear you down.
They fly, David. Baseline to baseline. They can really go. Raptors trail by 9. Pass to Shed. The three. Toppin pulls it in. Pacers shooting struggles apparent. 37% from the field. Mathurin for three. It's rebounded by Lawson. Toronto shooting a low 30% right now. An ugly offensive performance. The offensive rebound. Here's Walter. It's stolen by Mathurin. Shepard with the ball. Scoreless thus far. Here's McConnell. Indiana again missing. And the Raptors with possession. They've only allowed 5 points in the quarter. Mathurin against Lawson. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. Toronto shooting their first free throws of the game. The free throw dropped for Lawson. So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. And Lawson hits 2 free throws. Pacers leading by 7. Turner with a screen on quickly. Halliburton for three. The rebound by Brandon Ingram. Halliburton's gone 1 of 3 shooting so far. Offensive rebound. Second shot opportunity. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
The Raptors shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. The 2022 Rookie of the Year, Scotty Barnes, GA, had a terrific rookie year, as we know. His second year may have fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, it was a bit stagnant for Scotty, but man, he had a monster 3rd year, making his first All-Star game. The playmaking of Barnes especially took a lead.
5 to shoot. Siakam inside the 3-point line. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket. A drive by Barnes. Pass to Pirtle. Over Siakam. And so it's Indiana heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. A good size advantage, and they'll look. Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the 3rd quarter gets underway. And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. Raptors trail by 7. Barnes and Pirtle make up the inside pair. Ingram is out there with Emmanuel quickly. And it's Barrett at the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Here's Nesmith. No good on the 3. And so it's Ingram who brings up the ball for the Raptors. Fast break. Here comes Indiana. Here's Nembhard. Triple from the wing. Nembhard's got his first 3 points of the game.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Basketball IQ is something that gets talked about, but its importance to a team showing up here, running plays that turn into scores.
Nesmith. No good on the triple. And it's the Raptors ball. 8-point game. The 3 from Barnes. Offensive rebound. Pirtle inside. Turner covering. It's good.
Hard work on the offensive glass. You can see the coaching staff rise up and clap for that effort.
Halliburton against quickly. Siakam inside the 3-point line. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Ingram's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Barrett finds Barnes. No good on that one.
Yeah, and that was lining up to be a huge alley-oop, but they just couldn't quite connect.
Yeah, you can see when it's that close, players react. You just, oh man, we just missed that one. Maybe they'll get another chance at it.
Raptors trail by 6. Barrett wide open. He fires. Good on the 3-point shot. Barrett's got 8 points. Brent, would you say the point guard is considered the toughest position to play in basketball?
You know, Kevin, I think there's been a massive shift in what the point guard represents in the NBA game. I mean, how many teams over the past couple years that have won championships have played with a traditional setup guard? What we're looking at is duos that can dribble, pass, and shoot and devastate defenses.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Obi Toppin's checked in for Miles Turner. Benedict Mathurin comes in for Andrew Nembhard. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Halliburton.
Ingram has the skill to do that. A nice job setting up and receiving the pass.
Here's Nesmith. Toronto grabs the miss. Barnes has got 4 rebounds in this game. And the foul on Obi Toppin. That is his first foul of the game. Indiana making some changes. Walker's checked in for Siakam. And Shepard subbed in for Aaron Nesmith. Pacers leading by 4. Here's Shepard. Hands it from downtown. Shepard's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that D can afford to give him. And when you can't get anything to fall, it definitely gets in your head.
Especially if you're a player that doesn't get a lot of shot attempts. But otherwise, the mindset is, I just got to get the next one to go. And you don't want to put that much pressure on yourself.
And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, if you want to win, of course, playing both ends of the floor is essential. Former Defensive Player of the Year, Draymond Green, says, we've seen teams for years make the mistake of thinking they can put a great offense out there and win. You run up against a team that's just competent offensively, but they play defense, you're going to lose. Kevin?
You got the 1-2 punch, as Draymond talks about. Man, that is something tough to get by. The thanks. Andrew Nembhard's checked in for Indiana. Here's Abaji. There is the open three to cap the break. Abaji's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Indiana again turning it over.
Yeah, that's a tough one. An experienced player in the pro game shouldn't be making that pass.
It's checked in for the Raptors. And it's Ingram missing. Pacers leading by 6. And the wide open shot from McConnell. And a miss there on the triple. The Raptors shooting a troubling 38% in the third. Not the finest work of this offense.
He's not the guy that you want to give a wide open look from three-point range. They're lucky that that one doesn't cost them.
Indiana again missing. Toronto shooting a pretty sorry 29% from the floor here. Shed, that's good.
Pretty much no one's going to pass up a shot like that so much for the defense.
Now here's McConnell. Hasn't made one yet. No one covering. And the Pacers lead by 6.
And I like the back and forth here, showing confidence from range.
It seems like they're going to find out who can make the deepest threes. Right now it's a shootout.
Outside Mathurin. From deep. Offensive rebound Pacers. Toppin passes to McConnell. And the call will be against R.J. Barrett. That is his first foul of the game. The Raptors making a switch here. Hurdle's checked in. On defense, Toronto. Mathurin finds Walker. The 3, 6 to shoot. Drills the three-pointer. And it's a 9-point Indiana lead.
Now what a great option he gives them on every possession.
And Ingram puts up a deep 3. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Ingram's got 12.
Woo-hoo, these teams are dueling, and Brandon Ingram answers back with a triple of his own.
With the putback. It could go. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And so it's the Indiana Pacers with their lead. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feat.
The coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. And so in the game for the Pacers. Halliburton in the backcourt. Nembhard to his side. Siakam is the 4, and he'll be next to Turner at the 5. And it's Mathurin in at the 3. Halliburton against quickly. They get it again. Raptors trail by 3. To tie it up. Good, and it's Barnes picking up the assist.
And it's official. They have come all the way back. At one point, this thing seemed to be out of reach.
This is a testament to this team's fortitude, never giving up. Folks, we've got a new ball game.
Making use of the corner pocket, Halliburton, such an elite-level offensive play.
And there is a whistle. That goes on Andrew Nembhard. That's his first foul. The Pacers making a change here. Neesmith has checked in. For 3, Ingram. The rebound by Turner. Turner's got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's Neesmith. Outside for Halliburton. Shoots the 3. It's tipped.
That's R.J. coming in and locked in to get the block.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Quickly.
Now, that's two teammates who need to reintroduce themselves to one another, not on the same page.
Quickly against Halliburton. Here's Neesmith. Traps in the trade. Neesmith has got 20 points.
Nice find by Halliburton. Just a great feel for the game.
Pulls up on the wing. It's rebounded by Indiana. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. It's stolen by Barrett. And here's quickly for three. Hits the three-point bomb.
And great intensity here down the stretch. He's not one to shrink in the moment.
Now take a look at him. Locked in right now in this moment. Wants the ball in his hands and feels real comfortable with the shot he's taking.
Mathurin for three. And Pirtle pulls it down. Pass to Barnes. The rebound by Turner. Turner's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. Here's Neesmith. That falls. Nice feed that time from Halliburton. Halliburton's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. A three from Quickly. It's rebounded by Indiana. Turner's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Halliburton passes to Neesmith from downtown. And Pirtle pulls it down. Pirtle's got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. And here's Ingram from the arc. And the three ball is good.
Well, Ingram's going to come through when it's crucial. He did so there.
1:53 left in the fourth quarter. Halliburton looking around. Pass to Neesmith. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own. It's no good. Barrett for 3. It's rebounded by Indiana. Siakam passes to Neesmith. Indiana moving it around. From outside the arc. Bangs home the trifecta. Neesmith has got 9 points now in the quarter.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, the coach over there just asking for one simple thing, and that's some effort. Got burned on that one. I know it's about defending the post and the three-point line these days, but still got to be active in the mid-range area, and the defense gets away with one there.
And Barrett has got the ball here for Toronto. They trail by 6. 46 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Neesmith, that's good. It's Halliburton with the assist.
Pushing the action, getting others involved. He does it time and time again.
Nice to play with a point guard that takes pride in playmaking. It makes you move around just a little bit faster to get open spots.
Here's Pirtle. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Stolen by Quickly. This one for 3. They get it back. Shoots a fader. Pirtle's shot is off. Here's Indiana now. They lead by 7. Fires from way outside. And Indiana, another 3. Here's Quickly.
Guys, let's just go ahead and call this one. It's over.
You want to keep expending energy, or do you want to start thinking about the next one?
Here's Neesmith. Offline. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily.
grab. This is not your average regular season game. These teams are fierce rivals.
Oh, yes, they are, B.A. I love playing in these type of games. I mean, the fans are extra loud. The players are fired up. This will be fun.
And let's take a look at Boston's starting lineup. Holiday at the 1 with White at the 2. The 2 Jays, Brown at the 3 and Tatum at the 4. And it's Porzingis in at the 5. The shot by Ingram, no good. And so Holiday will bring it up for Boston. White for 3. And he parries his first look.
Yeah, what vision from Holiday. Seems to have a knack for getting it to his guys in great spots.
Quickly with the ball. Guarded now by Holiday. White against Ingram. Shoots over White. They grab their own miss. Here's Pirtle. Second chance shot. Oh, it's blocked by Porzingis.
Great play by Porzingis. Love seeing the zinger engaged on D.
Barrett against Brown. Shot clock at 3. Barrett passes to Ingram. Oh, my. Came close to a 4-point play. He'll head to the line for 3 free throws. Jaylen Brown picks one up. After a trade to New Orleans back in 2019, Brandon Ingram has become a primary scorer, Grant.
Yeah, he scored well over 20 points per game since leaving the Lakers. B.I. has the rare blend of length and shooting, and beyond scoring, Ingram's assist numbers are very impressive, too.
Tatum inside, working on Barnes. Tatum, shot is good.
This is how confident Tatum is. Knows he can score inside whenever he wants.
The 3 from Barnes sinks the tray.
Hey, good to get him going right away. I mean, those are the shots that really boost confidence.
It makes a difference for them if he can establish his three-point shot as a weapon.
Porzingis with it. He's picked up by Barnes. It's stolen by Barnes. And a fast break now for the Raptors. The 3, Barrett. And the Raptors, another 3.
He's an opportunistic scorer in the open floor. Barrett makes sure to take advantage of these chances whenever he can.
Brown inside, guarded by Barrett, and the basket by Brown.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Easy possessions like that literally are just a gift. You just dream of them. He'll gladly take those.
The 3, Barrett. On target from range. Barrett's got 6.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
Holiday looking for an opening. He's off on that one. Ooh, excellent D there from Barnes. Quickly against Holiday. Quickly passes to Barnes. Now Pirtle to the paint. Quickly finds Pirtle. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
I really like what the defense is thinking, but against Pirtle inside, you really have to go at him.
And when you talk about the Boston Celtics last year, they were historically good, Richard.
Yeah, they had the 4th best net rating ever in the history of the game. That's Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, the MJ Bulls. Shattered the NBA record for offensive rating at 123.1. They were unreal.
Tatum can't hit.
That's just a bucket you expect him to make. It's tough when you miss them.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
The Raptors are still developing. Coach Darko Rajakovic said, we're focusing on offensive execution and player development. It's about what we need to do night in and night out, regardless of the opponent. As we grow, we'll teach more schemes for opponent preparation. BA step by step.
Yeah, it's a process, Allie. Thank you. Ingram against Porzingis. This one for 3. Another shot. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair.
How about the physicality of Pirtle? He was ready to absorb that foul.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Raptors.
Well, so far, their long-range shooting has been the story, doing damage from deep.
And following off of what you said, they've really done a good job distributing the ball, passing up good shots for great ones.
See, that miss right there, it's why teams try to avoid the mid-range jumper these days.
And the three-pointer goes.
Look at how smooth Ingram's shot is. Caught off the pass, he puts up a silky jumper.
Tatum a screen on quickly. Holiday passes to Brown. Back to Holiday. Toronto grabs the miss. The three from quickly. Oh, again! Toronto with a triple.
They've shown so much energy right from the start, particularly on the offensive end.
They came out swinging, really setting the tone on offense, and the opposition has not been able to respond.
Tatum from long range. It's rebounded by Barrett. Toronto leading by 12. There's 21 seconds left in the first quarter here. White with the steal. To halt the run, here's Brown. Banked it in off the glass. Brown's got 6 points.
Look, that was good defense, but Brown, he's just too good and just continues all the way through.
Here's quickly. No good. Would have counted had it gone. And so it's the Toronto Raptors earning this break in the action, up 10. Great to have you with us. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. You know, you take a look at the Raptors' performance here, guys. What are your thoughts?
Oh, what I love was that first quarter was all about leaking out and capitalizing in transition.
It leads to some easy buckets, and I think it's given them control of the pace in this one.
On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. Al Horford out there with Torrey Craig. Then there's Peyton Pritchard, and it's Hauser in at the three, the small forward. Back to Pritchard. And that's good. His first bucket of the game.
He's a go-to guy for them because he's that consistent. Time and time again, he delivers.
Lawson passes to Dick. Here's Mobo. No good from outside. He got his defender off his feet with a pump fake, but couldn't knock it down. Pass to Hauser. Puts it up from 15. Off the left rim and out. Toronto leading by 10. Here's Lawson. To the left side wing. Fires for three. Knocks it down from distance. Lawson's gotten himself going with a triple. His first basket of the game. Grant, would you say the Raptors are in the process of starting over?
You know, I certainly don't think that's the wrong thing to call it, BA. Coaching changes, some big trades. They're shuffling things around and trying to start building something new.
Sends it home from three-point land.
When he has that much space, he's a pretty good bet to nail the three.
Here's Pritchard. Pass to Shireman. Four on the clock. It's tipped. Here's Horford. And Castleton pulls it down. Toronto has gone 2 of 4 from the perimeter in the second so far. Here's Dick. And the Raptors, another three.
And I love Dick's aggressive mindset. I mean, this is how lethal he can be catching and firing.
Here's Craig. Pass to Pritchard. Can they get it? Rebound Toronto. Castleton's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Lobo. Defended by Craig. And that one's in. Nice feed on the play.
Saw the angles and led him right to the hoop with that pass.
Here's Battle for three. Can't get his first shot of the game to fall.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's a shot he typically makes.
Here's Hauser. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting. Looking at lineups around the league, Grant, seems like they're becoming more positionless than ever before.
Yeah, you're spot on, BA. To the point where some people feel all-star voting shouldn't be by position anymore. It should be by merit.
Offensive board. Fires from deep. And it's Battle missing.
he didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Hauser passes to Pritchard. To the inside, Craig, and he throws it down. What a terrific lead pass.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
And that could be the spark they needed to make a little run as they try to even this thing up.
Craig inside. Right wing. And here's Horford for three. Hey, Horford from range.
You see the great fundamentals. Horford sets up for the quick shot off the feed. No hesitation.
Here's Dick. No good on the three. Celtics trail by 13. Pass to Shireman.
Raptors foul. A.J. Lawson. That's his first personal foul. Second team foul.
51 seconds left in the first half. Here's Hauser. No good on the triple. Raptors lead by 13. Here's Mobo. Takes the three. That one goes. Now he's 1 for 2.
In order to create effective spacing, you need enough guys on the floor that can hit from downtown.
To the middle. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up.
Yeah, you never want to let shots at the rim go uncontested.
And this will be his 3rd and 4th free throws of the game here.
2 shots.
And he makes both free throws. There's 31 seconds left to play in the first half of basketball. Left side Dick. Here's Battle. No made baskets yet. Puts it up. And another basket for Toronto. Celtics trail by 16. Here's Hauser. Puts up a three. Boston, no good that time either. Here's Battle. Oh, no good on the last second attempt there. And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Raptors out in front, up by 16. And we'll be right back after halftime for the start of the 3rd quarter. See you in just a bit. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Barrett is the 3, and Barnes will play the 4. Emmanuel quickly is out there with Brandon Ingram, and it's Pirtle in at the center, locking down the middle. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Puts the move on, and then Tatum slams it in.
Mercy, Jason Tatum is a bad man.
You know, Grant, in interviews, Jason Tatum often seems understated and soft-spoken, but that's just him, isn't it?
That's true, B.A. Tatum has a quiet confidence about him. He doesn't feel the need.
KP flying high.
You see the reach of Porzingis. His length is what makes him a prime-time alley-oop threat.
Outside for Ingram. And for those tuning in, we're about a minute into this second half. And the call will be against Jason Tatum. That's his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul.
On defense, the Celtics. 15-point game. The shot by Ingram, no good. Pass to Brown. And stolen by Barrett. Fast break, here we go. Oh, botches the slam dunk finish.
Why? Just why? Come on, man. Save that one for practice.
And he got the whistle on the way up, so he'll be headed to the line for a pair.
Even though Porzingis can shoot over anyone, he still does all the little things that make a difference.
And when Porzingis can be a third option on a team, he is deadly and efficient, RJ.
We've always seen Porzingis as the guy or as a second option. But when he has elite teammates around him, he really flourishes.
Oh, Tatum with a throwdown.
Oh, this is how aggressive Tatum is. Excellent job of getting to the rim and a finish. Just light work.
Here's Barnes. No, stopping him there. Jams it in, and he's fouled. An opportunity in a three-point play. Jaylen Brown picks one up. You know, Grant, an underrated area of improvement for Scotty Barnes has been his defense.
You're spot on, B.A. I mean, we've seen an elevated intensity from him on that end. Finding more denials, attacking the ball, really proving himself as an effective stopper.
For three, Barrett. He buries it from three. Barrett's got 9.
Opportunistic basketball. Gets a great look at the three in transition.
White for 3. They get the rebound. Porzingis sets a screen. It's White with a drive. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Puts up a deep 3. Birtle grabs a miss. Birtle's got his 6th rebound on the night. Barrett passes to Barnes. No good from outside. Celtics trail by 17. Outside, Brown. And he drops it in from the low post. Give him 8.
Doing what he can to help shrink the deficit, but it has to be a team effort.
Outside White.
2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. 2 minutes.
Back to Tatum. From behind the arc. Rebound Toronto. Earlier in the game, they led by 19. For 3, Barrett. That one's good. And it's Barnes with the assist. And the Raptors lead by 18.
This is what it's been since halftime. Remarkable results from downtown.
In the modern NBA, you have to hit threes to win games, and they've made that adjustment since the break.
So Toronto ends up going with a new group, and Boston with some changes. Second half here, and we're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Here's Hauser. Clock at 6. Pass to Pritchard. From downtown, the putback. Controls the rebound and the putback.
Oh, phenomenal hustle. He has a knack for those boards.
Man, he is tenacious when that ball goes up. Here's Shed. Spins. Here's Battle. Here's Castleton. Horford covering. The Raptors need to get off a shot. Here's Dick. Off the mark there with a 3. Celtics trail by 16. Inside. Here's Horford. It's rebounded by Dick. Now the Raptors with it. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. And it's Shed missing. The Celtics shooting a disappointing 38%. Here's Shireman. That shot off. Here's Shed. He's scoreless. And so it's the Toronto Raptors with an impressive 16-point lead heading in. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And he definitely deserves the award. Reading the defense like a point guard.
He'll be proud of that one. Bigs love when their passing skills are noticed.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same for the first 3 quarters. And a look at the 5 for the Celtics to start the fourth quarter. They've got Peyton Pritchard, Torrey Craig out there with Al Horford, and it's Hauser in at the small forward position. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Raptors.
Oh, they've done a lot of damage in transition. Every time they see a chance to push the tempo, they're gone.
Yeah, all throughout the game, the opposition hasn't been able to keep them off the glass, and they're paying for it, giving up second chance points.
A line change here for Toronto.
Oh, man, for whatever reason, he can't get it going from 3, and he's pretty good from there.
Brown finds Porzingis. Oh, Porzingis getting it done inside.
One of the tallest guys in the league. Give Porzingis the ball there and just let him work.
2 open that time. Made it look easy. And the Raptors lead by 18.
And just not letting up at all. I mean, you have to love this approach. You want to get the ball to the guys who make plays.
This is when good players really get after it. He can sense that they're reeling, and he's going to put his foot on the pedal.
And how about Jaylen Brown, Richard? Named to his first All-NBA team in 2023. A very important piece to him.
NBA, what timing. It made Jaylen eligible for the Supermax. At the time, it was the largest contract in NBA history. And how did he follow it up? He won the Larry Bird Award as the best player in the Eastern Conference playoffs.
Outside Tatum. JT for 3.
Every time Tatum finds his shot, he'll take it. He loves to fill it up from range.
Pass to Quickly. The 3 is up. That one's good. And it's Barnes with the assist. Barnes has got 3 assists now in this one.
That's how you up the ante. Come right back at it.
Yeah, I love the competitive fire right there. You drain a triple on us, and I'm coming for my revenge.
Oh, and a vicious dunk by Barnes.
Great teamwork on that drive. Punctuated by a strong finish.
Yeah, that's nice execution, running with purpose and creating an easy scoring opportunity off the break.
When the defense gives you room, take it. Don't pass up the shot.
Quickly finds Barnes. And here's Pirtle. The 3, Barrett. Rebound Boston. Tatum's got a rebound number 5 here tonight. Porzingis passes to Tatum. Outside, Brown. And the foul called on Emmanuel Quickly. That's his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul. Second team foul.
We're in the 4th quarter here. Just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Porzingis in the post. He's working on Pirtle. Porzingis misses. And here's Ingram outside. Boston with a rebound.
Oh, man, he can't get anything to fall. You can feel his frustration.
Yeah, right now, he's just in his own head. Not much you can do to try and push through it.
Second team foul.
Toronto leading by 17. And here's Ingram outside. Hauled in by Brown. Stolen by Quickly. And the dunk by Pirtle.
Get that ball anywhere near the rim, and Jakob will finish it.
Boston's gone 1 of 2 from deep in this quarter. Here's Tatum. Pirtle grabs a miss. Pirtle's got 7 rebounds in the game. Barrett finds Quickly. Outside Barnes. Fires the 3. Can't get it to drop. Celtics trail by 19. Here's Holiday. And it falls all over the rim and in.
Not just being selfless, but also smart with the ball. Brown is able to find the best guy for the right shot.
Barrett passes to Quickly. Outside Ingram. 3-pointer. Drills it from deep. And the Raptors lead by 20.
And you can see how scary this team can be when everything is clicking for them. Just a terrific performance for the Raptors.
And everything seemed to go their way today. They were firing on all cylinders, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., this was the kind of performance you relish as a player. Just a very impressive win.
And as it was happening, as it was building, you knew this was a monster game for R.J. Barrett.
He really managed to shine on both ends of the floor, finding lots of opportunities to affect the game and make an impact.
And so it's White with it. He brings it up for the Celtics. They trail by 18. Up again.
Porzingis.
This is why you want ball movement and player movement.
And that's made it hard for the defense to key in on any one individual.
The three, Barrett. Rebounded by the Celtics. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Here's Brown. Yep, count it. 20 seconds left in the fourth. They can simply hold on to the ball here.
No question, BA. They deserve the win.
So it's the Raptors winning this one easy. All right, Allie, good stuff there. Thanks for that. Thank you for joining us. That'll
out at me, Kevin, is the guard matchup. I mean, both teams have tremendous backcourts, and I really think whoever is able to win or control that battle is going to win the game.
And now the opening lineup for Boston. And in the front court, Brown and Tatum. Holiday in the backcourt. To his side is White. And it's Porzingis in at the 5 down low.
Tatum, like most players, is best when he's aggressive and attacking the basket.
Oh, Turner in position. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Hey, if you throw it up there, Miles Turner is going to find it and finish it.
Here's Tatum. And the dunk by Tatum.
Nice there, getting the reverse. Love that. And the fans got a little bit of a show there.
Guys, that one definitely had a little something extra on it.
A jaw-dropper emoji is what I look like right now. Incredible.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
And Clark, as we watch Aaron Nesmith, he was such a great shooter in college, and it took him a while to find his stroke in the NBA.
And you know what, Kevin, nothing really surprising about that. Most players struggle to find their game in the NBA, to find their role in the NBA. But Nesmith, he's found his rhythm and his role, and he clearly is dangerous from behind the arc.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Well, Kevin, Rick Carlisle gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. Now, of course, I asked Coach what his plan was about defending Jason Tatum, and he said, I told our guys just to play smart, to play up on him, but not get baited into fouls, and try to get a hand in his face. Now, that's a difficult challenge for any defense, so we'll see what happens tonight. Guys?
Okay, David, much appreciated.
Cannot let Tatum roll to the bucket. When he's got a head of steam, he's going to finish with power.
Nesmith can't get it to go. For Boston, they've gone 4 of 4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Holiday dishes to White. And slammed in by Holiday.
Aggressive move that time by Holiday. He's the engine that makes this offense churn.
Nesmith, a three-pointer, no good.
Tough to hit that shot when the D is all over you like that.
White goes in, and White slams it in.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
You know, with that size difference, that's not an easy shot. I mean, I don't care how close to the rim he is, that's a tough shot. A total defensive collapse. I mean, no reason to allow him that kind of space from behind the arc.
Here's Holiday, and it's slammed in by Holiday.
Taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah, we didn't expect to see that kind of finish.
And you know, guys, when your point guard is making explosive plays at the rim, I really do think it sets the tone for the rest of the team.
The three kept alive. Pass to Nesmith.
2 minutes remaining in the first.
Just 5 to shoot. Off target with his 3. Boston leading by 3. Clark, these Indiana Pacers play at one of the quickest paces of any team in the NBA.
Yeah, I love the fact that it's quite fitting considering the nickname, Indiana Pacers. And they do set the pace. They love to push that rock, and they do it relentlessly. Catching you before your defense can get set. It's a beautiful way to play. Tell you what, though, you got to be in great shape to make it work.
White.
You know, I think that's exactly the right attitude for White to have. Go at the defender head on and don't back away from the contact.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Celtics.
They've been so aggressive, going strong at the defense, looking to score off of that penetration.
And, you know, in no time at all, they've also started finding points inside, already taking apart that interior defense.
Nembhard, the pass to Nesmith. Lets it go with a 3. Can't hit that one.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
And slam dunk by Tatum.
Yeah, I tell you what, Tatum really good at getting out in transition and taking advantage of what the defense gives you.
Nesmith can't get it to go. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for the Celtics. They lead by 7. Here's Brown. Nembhard grabs the board. Pacers have gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. A nice shot by Neesmith.
Sweet dime that time from Halliburton. This combo guard has really impressive floor awareness, folks.
And Boston has possession after Indiana gets the 3. And it's sent back by Turner. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. 3-pointer. Neesmith can't get it to go. Celtics leading by 4. Brown drives in, throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a 3-point play. It goes on Tyrese Halliburton.
Brown with that amazing athleticism, putting on a show out there with jams like that.
12 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Halliburton. Pass to Neesmith. That's good. It's Halliburton with the assist. Halliburton's got his 4th assist in this one. Holiday with the 3, and he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. What a performance for Jason Tatum. He has been the story so far. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And when you consider how the Celtics are doing, guys, what do you think?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Yeah, you know, I agree. No warm-up needed. They came in on fire and have already built a nice lead.
On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. Torrey Craig is out there with Horford. And it's Shireman in at the 2-guard spot. Got a piece of it. Out of bounds. Celtics ball as Boston keeps possession. Pass to Craig. Shot on the wing. Knocked away.
Total breakdown from the defense there. I mean, he'll usually take advantage when that's the case.
And it's Mathurin missing. The Celtics with the lead. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Tyrese Halliburton has become the face of the Pacers franchise. He says they've done a great job of allowing me to spread who I am and how I play throughout the organization. Guys and the coaches have adapted to that. Good things are happening. I want us to be the best team in the league. Kevin, he's certainly taking them in the right direction.
David, I'm infatuated with this guy as you are. He does so much at such a young age. Man, the sky is the limit. It's deflected. Here's Shepard. Here's McConnell. Pass to Toppin. Shepard with the ball. Toppin sets a screen for Shepard. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead there. The Celtics have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Here's the 3. Shireman can't hit. Indiana's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Look, obviously, this is a results league for head coaches. And we're always going to see lots of changes at that position.
I think you're exactly right. I don't necessarily agree with it all the time. I would like to see owners and general managers and decision makers be a little more patient, give coaches a little more runway, but we know it's a results-oriented league, and oftentimes the reality is that it's easier to change one coach than it is perhaps to change a handful of players on a roster that's not performing.
Will it go? Here's Craig. Pass to Hauser. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. And it's Shepard missing.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up.
Well, that looked to me, guys, like a heat check. It was maybe a step out of his range.
Well, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
And the wide-open shot from McConnell hits the jumper in space. McConnell's got the lead up to 7 now for the Pacers. For double team. Pass to Hauser. To the wing right side. Shireman, good. Shireman's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
The real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
Here's Pritchard. The putback. The Pacers pull it in. Mathurin passes to Shep. And there are the Pacers with another bucket.
When Mathurin's creating for his teammates, his offensive impact goes way up.
Here's Pritchard. Good on the triple.
Watch out now. When this guy gets into a rhythm, it is something to behold.
Here's Mathurin, and he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones.
Hey, they've got a nice, comfortable lead here, fellas. Might as well keep it simple. Do it a plain, simple one-hander, just like pound cake.
Here's McConnell, following the basket by Al Horford. Drains the three-pointer.
Just a little confusion among the D as to who was supposed to be on it.
Here's Craig. Toppin pulls it in. Toppin's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Lets it go from deep. Pass to McConnell. Back to Toppin. Clock at 4. Here's Pritchard. His three-pointer's off the mark.
Man, this will be the last possession of the quarter if they're patient.
Yeah, they've got to hold for the last shot here.
4-on-3 break. Here's Hauser. From outside, off the mark. And so it's the Indiana Pacers holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. We're shooting the... All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started. And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. Pacers leading by 8. And they go to the intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. Halliburton in the backcourt. Nembhard to his side. Siakam is the 4, and he'll be next to Turner at the 5. And it's Nesmith in at the 3 slot. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Last season, Miles Turner became the Pacers' all-time leader in block shots.
That's a pretty impressive feat when you consider some of the Pacers who've played there historically. Jermaine O'Neal, Rick Smits, Roy Hibbert. Come on now. Great work by Miles Turner. So we need to give him his flowers now, and I think he's going to continue to add to that shot block total.
Second half just getting started. About a minute played. Back to Halliburton. Pass to Nesmith. They set the pick. Puts the move on. Outside for Halliburton. Taken away by Holiday. Here's Tatum. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on Siakam.
You really like your chances with Tatum at the line. He locks in and focuses on these two.
And he makes both free throws. Pacers leading by 9. A 3-ball. Nesmith can't get it to go. Tatum down low. Nembhard covering.
Tatum clearly putting on a show in this one. Doing it all.
Here's Halliburton. The teardrop falls in. Halliburton's got his second bucket.
How about that wonderful floater he has? Showing off an exquisite touch.
Here's Nesmith. And a miss there on the triple. Celtics trail by 9. And with an update from the sideline, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Kevin, well, like a lockdown corner in football, teams just try to keep the ball away from Jrue Holiday. He says, I feel like they're not afraid of me, but like, okay, get him off the ball. To me, that's respect. I don't need other people telling me how good I am. You can see it by their actions. Kevin?
So true. He can be intimidating, David, and we thank you for that report. White with it. Now guarded by Siakam. Here's Tatum. White. And it's put back in by White. Now just a 4-point Indiana lead.
Yeah, great fight displayed that time by White to get that board and then finish. Strong play.
Halliburton for three. Hands it from downtown. Halliburton's got 5 points now this quarter.
Not sure what the defense was thinking. I mean, you can't leave this guy open from deep.
Here's Holiday. The rebound by Halliburton. Pacers leading by 7. Pass to Nesmith. Takes the three. And Tatum pulls it down. Tatum's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And it's Tatum completing the break.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points.
Hey, I thought there was some style there, guys. What are you guys looking at? I mean, it was still a pretty sweet, flavorful one-hand flush.
Brown finds Porzingis beyond the arc. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Brown's got 3 assists now in this one.
I'll tell you, we're right in this. We'll see if they can maintain momentum.
Well, it starts with defense. They got some stops, scored some buckets after that, and now we've got ourselves a ball game.
And a wide open look for Halliburton. Connects from 3-point range. Halliburton's got 10.
At the arc, Halliburton confident, no fear, no hesitation. He sees a good shot, he's letting it fly.
White looking around. Launches it. Shot clock at 6. Tatum gets it to go inside.
Tell you what, Tatum using his length for positioning inside, able to operate well in the paint.
Nesmith with the ball. Brown on him. And a wide open look for Siakam. Here's Nesmith. Lays it up off the glass. Nesmith has got 20 points.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
When Porzingis sees the lane, he goes right to it and through it. Very agile for a big guy.
Halliburton kicks to Turner. Back to Halliburton. Taken away by Holiday. Pull-up jumper. And off the front iron, and in it goes. And now just a 1-point Pacer lead. Here's Nesmith. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. That concludes the third quarter. It continues to be an exciting. We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. The Celtics shooting certainly a key for them in this one. 55% from the field. And a look at the 5 for the Celtics to start the fourth quarter. They've got Horford. And it's Shireman in at the 2. Here's Craig. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. Shepard with the ball. Fires for 3. And Shireman pulls it down.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Outside, Horford. Pass to Pritchard. Clock at 6. It's rebounded by Indiana. McConnell's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Oh, he really broke up that transition opportunity. Looks like it'll be a transition take foul. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Pacers.
I'm in love with how they're moving the basketball all game long, and also their ability to move without the ball. That style just makes it so difficult to defend.
Yeah, you know, the defense just hasn't been able to keep up with them in this one. The transition game, as a result of good defense, has been very strong.
Here's Toppin. Stripped it away. Fast break. Here we go. And here they go. The finish and the dunk by Horford.
How about Horford showing you that he knows a little bit about elevation? Big fella bouncing to the rack.
Here's Shepard, and he uses the glass on the layup. And the Pacers lead by 2.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Now Mathurin shoots it up. Craig pulls it in. Craig's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Hauser. A miss that time. Would have put him up. And so it's McConnell with it. He'll bring it up for the Pacers. A great 4th quarter. Just giving up 2 points.
And you can tolerate gaps like that sometimes. But in a close game, man, I tell you what, that really hurts.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. And Holiday kicks to Porzingis. Here's Brown, and Brown throws it down hard.
Big-time hops on display there. What a throwdown by Brown.
Here's Halliburton, and finished off by Halliburton.
Big-time basket there on the inside. I mean, he had to get that one up and over the big guy.
Way up and over the big guy. And what a time in the ball game to make it happen.
The kick out to Brown. Pass to Porzingis. And it's in there. Porzingis has got the game tied up here for the Celtics.
Knowing his team needs a hoop, Porzingis says, I'll get it done.
Brown the pass to Tatum. Holiday with it. He's covered by Halliburton. Outside Tatum to take the lead. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. For Indiana, they've gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Nemhard with it. Outguarded by Porzingis. Steps back. Siakam finds Halliburton. 6 to shoot. Cranes it from beyond the arc. Halliburton's got 13 points in the second half.
He's such a clutch shooter. He just lives for the big shot.
Tatum passes to Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
Boy, evidence of the mobility there from Porzingis as he shreds the defense in screen and roll.
Siakam inside the three-point line. The rebound by the Celtics. Porzingis has got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Nesmith. No good on the 3.
You know, brick after brick after brick. I mean, that's been the story for him this quarter. I mean, he's got to brain it in down the stretch here.
And White kicks to Holiday. Just to Porzingis. The kick out to Holiday. Back to Porzingis. Turner with the steal. Siakam with it. Outguarded by Tatum. Here's Halliburton. Outside Turner. In the corner, it's Nesmith. And that's collected by Drew Holiday.
And since halftime, he has just been ice cold. Just can't seem to get anything to go his way.
On the wing, Brown. Nesmith covering.
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Cool, calm, collected, and confident in the biggest moment of the game. Yes.
Halliburton passes to Nesmith. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Nemhard finds Nesmith. Outside for Halliburton, and it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way.
And what a time to get sloppy. A close game like this, you cannot be getting loose with the ball.
And so it's Boston scraping by with the win. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic all right, DA, thanks again. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony.
position tonight.
We should, and it always makes for exciting basketball. But more importantly, BA, these are teams that create easy buckets. Everything in basketball cannot be a grind. That's why these two teams are fun to watch.
So let's take a look at the starters for Toronto. Barnes and Pirtle down low at the 4 and 5. Emmanuel Quickly is out there with Brandon Ingram. And it's Barrett in at the 3 slot.
Now there's your rim protection. That's how you defend the post.
Boy, he really anchors well on the block. Very difficult to back down.
Here's Toronto with the ball. Pass to Pirtle. Back to Barnes. And the foul on Tyrese Halliburton. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
And here's Ingram from the arc. Ingram can't get that one to fall. Indiana's gone 0 for 2 from outside. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Earlier, I spoke with Rick Carlisle. We got to talking about Brandon Ingram, and I asked how Coach thought they might limit him tonight. Coach told me, well, there's nothing we can do about his size and his length, so we're hoping just to frustrate him and keep him off balance by getting up in his business and contesting shots. Hopefully that plan pans out for them, guys.
Good job there, Allie. Thanks.
This is a guy with size and range. You cannot let Pascal Siakam get those kinds of looks from deep.
And the Pacers started last season all offense, Grant, but even they knew that would not be sustainable.
Yeah, Coach Carlisle plotted them to at least get to average on the defensive end. And there's no question they have the tools to do it.
Halliburton finds Siakam. 3-pointer, no good. Toronto's gone 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. The 3 from Barnes. And the Raptors, another 3.
This is a huge part of Scotty Barnes' development. Can he knock down the long ball?
Turner for 3. Rebound, Toronto. First quarter, just about 2 minutes in. Turner against Pirtle. Shoots over Turner. And the Raptors getting another bucket right there.
The hand in the face does nothing to distract Jakob Pirtle. How about the size, the strength? It's going to be hard to block this guy's shot.
Now here's Halliburton to stop the run. And it's Turner, that time on the assist from Halliburton.
Don't want to let him get into a rhythm from out there.
Pirtle against Turner. The jump hook. And the Raptors getting another bucket right there.
Well, this is the expectation for Jakob Pirtle. His scoring in the post has to be there for him.
3-pointer Mathurin. Pirtle grabs a miss. Raptors lead by 4. Mathurin with a steal. The 3. Pirtle grabs a miss. Pirtle's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
2 minutes remaining in the first.
Quickly outside. Barnes finds Quickly. Now here's Ingram. Lets the 3 fly. Nails it from beyond the arc. Ingram's got 6 points.
Yeah, the fluid shooting motion of Ingram makes him a real threat to knock down these corner triples.
Halliburton for 3. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Pirtle's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Well, Emmanuel Quickly is a combo guard who impacts both sides of the ball, Doris.
There's no question about it. He's a floor spacer. He can create for himself or his teammates. And defensively, longer than you think and very mobile.
And a new group getting ready for Indiana. Toppin, he's checked in for Turner. Neesmith comes in for Mathurin. Jackson, he's checked in for Nimhart. And it's McConnell in for Halliburton.
This game's taken on a whole new look thanks to this run.
This is a dominant stretch. I am so impressed with how they've played together as a unit over this last stretch.
The rebounding numbers make it obvious why they're in front.
Well, they've absolutely dominated that category in this one, and it's reflected in the score.
Now here's Barnes. 6 points for him. There's Neesmith with the 3. He drops it from range.
I'll tell you, you are playing with fire anytime you leave this guy open, and they just got burned.
Offensive rebound, and Obi Toppin gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Some changes for Indiana. Jackson comes in for Siakam, and Tyrese Halliburton subbed in for Jackson. And Toronto also making a switch. Lawson's checked in. And he lobs it up to the rim. Out of bounds. It'll go to the Raptors. And here are the Raptors now. They're on a 19-6 run. Abaji can't hit.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
Jackson outside. There's a screen by Toppin. Jackson, the pass to Toppin. McConnell outside. Lets it go from deep. Lawson with a rebound. Here's Abaji. Got it off in time. Oh, he got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so it's the Toronto Raptors. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Toronto.
Well, they found a groove, and it's from distance, so knocking them down from the three-point land never hurts.
I think the other thing they're doing is they're wearing out the opponent in transition, exploding up the floor for easy chances.
We've got Toppin. Tyrese Halliburton is out there with T.J. McConnell. Then it's Aaron Nesmith, and it's Jackson in at the 5. That's the 5 for the Pacers.
What a heads-up play by Obi. Toppin feeds the open man. Easy opportunity.
After their title in 2019, the Raptors have struggled to stay among the league's elite stores.
Well, think about it, B.A. The driver of that title success was Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry. Both of those players are gone. Very hard to replace players of that caliber. Almost inevitable they were going to take a step back.
Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
The Pacers have a star tandem with Tyrese Halliburton and the newly re-signed Pascal Siakam, who set his all-star point guard. His knowledge of the game and his desire to win and get better, that's all you can really ask for from a young player. Out there on the floor together, I think it's naturally just a fit. Brian?
Okay, Allie, thanks. Nesmith's shot is off. Raptors lead by 7. Here's Mobo. And the 3 off target. The Pacers have got 2 of 3 shots to go in the second. From the arc. Nesmith's shot is off. The Raptors have gotten only 1 of 4 shots to go in. Outside for Ingram. They set the screen. Down low. Barrett passes to Quickly. Launches it. Gets the 3 to fall. And now it's a 10-point Raptor lead.
Boy, Barrett is a natural-born playmaker, understands when to be aggressive and make the right play.
Pass to Nesmith. Here's McConnell. Back to Nesmith. The 3-ball. Fires in the triple. Nesmith's got 9 points.
Man, this is just fun. These teams are trading threes back and forth.
Well, that three-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
And just not letting up at all. I mean, you have to love this approach. You want to get the ball to the guys who make plays.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
Now here's Quickly. He has 6. For 3, Barrett. The rebound by Jackson. Pacers trail by 10. Now the Pacers on the move. Pass to Nesmith. Back to Halliburton. 4-3. Mobo with the rebound.
He is just so deadly from out there. You expect that to fall. 2 minutes.
McConnell outside. And here's Halliburton. Here's the 3. Now here's Nesmith. The 3 is up. Pure from 3-point range. Nesmith's got 9 points in the quarter. All right, Doris, where do you think Halliburton ranks among the NBA's best point guards?
Well, he's certainly, B.A., got to be near the top of the list. Number 1, his vision is absolutely tremendous. He can create on the fly. As importantly to me, it's his spirit and presence, the joy he brings to the game.
Now here's Toppin. Still no points. Halliburton, the pass to Toppin. Halliburton, a screen on Ingram. 5 on the clock. It's stolen by Ingram. And now the Raptors on the break. Hey, great communication on the lob.
Great teamwork on that drive. punctuated by a strong finish.
Going right to the rim, which is where you want transition opportunities to end.
Toronto leading by 9. Walter from outside. The rebound by Jackson. Jackson's got his 5th rebound in this one. Outside Neesmith. Pass to Halliburton. From outside the arc. Neesmith's shot is off. For Toronto, they've gotten 4 of their first 9 shots to go here in the second. That's tipped. Ingram fires from way outside. And again, Toronto, no good. The Pacers shooting a rough 29% from the field here. To the left wing. Toppin passes to McConnell. From deep. Second shot opportunity. Jackson. And hold up. We're not going to halftime just yet. The officials signaling that they are going to take a look at this replay.
Yeah, the replay makes it obvious. I mean, he got that shot off in time. It should be an easy decision for the officials.
And so it's the Toronto Raptors closing out the quarter with a 7-point lead. A big difference in shooting percentages. That's why they lead. All right, we'll get back to the action after this break. And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. One of the stories here, Aaron Neesmith. He's getting it done today.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
So for Toronto right now, Barrett is the 3. And Barnes will play the 4. Emmanuel Quickly is out there with Brandon Ingram. And it's Pirtle in at the 5 spot. Halliburton for 3. Rebounded by Ingram.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
Takes a 3. Halliburton misses.
He is just not taking smart shots out there, a pattern he has fallen into tonight.
The 3 from Quickly. Pirtle in the post. Turner covers. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Pirtle's got 6 points.
Well, the hard work on the offensive glass pays off for Jakob Poeltl. Like to see that mindset from the big man. Goes back up strong as soon as he gets his hands on the basketball.
Nembhard outside. Counted from distance. Nembhard's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. But Grant, with all the parity and competition in the league today, there's still those teams piling up losses.
Yeah, B.A., and with teams like the Thunder excelling, it's almost like youth is no longer an excuse, but some rebuilds take longer than others.
Turner, no good.
We all know he's a good shooter, but from that distance, I don't think so.
Boy, we're seeing it more and more. Guys looking to create additional space by stepping back further from the line.
Pacers trail by 6. Here's Mathurin. And Indiana misses again. Toronto has got nothing to fall from outside in this 3rd quarter. Abaji can't hit. And here's Halliburton. He'll bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. Pass to Turner. Jacks up a 3. Hits the trifecta. Turner's gotten his 2nd bucket.
Well, you just love how Miles Turner goes right up with it, right? No hesitation, catch and shoot.
Barnes, it's good.
That's how you up the ante. Come right back at him.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
Here's Nembhard. Another 3 for Indiana.
Well, yet another selfless play from Miles Turner. Pretty pass to his teammate.
And certain guys are just solid with what they do. Of course, I think that applies to Andrew Nembhard.
Yeah, I think it does, B.A., because whenever he's out there, there's this steadying presence he brings. And that is while competing at a high level on the defensive end. His competitive toughness might be his best attribute.
Neesmith, he's checked in for Indiana.
This is anyone's game now, and they have the momentum.
Probably the most important thing is they regroup. They worked out some of their frustrations, and now they're starting to have some fun.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Guys, Scotty Barnes said, my game starts on the defensive end, guarding anybody and taking pride in it. That leads to great offensive transition and just leads me to stay on lockdown throughout the game. Brian?
An alley for all his offensive gifts. That focus on defense is what makes him special.
Second personal foul. First team foul.
Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Here's Pirtle, and the layup is good. Pirtle's got 8.
When it's this close, every bucket matters. You need good looks.
Neesmith passes to Halliburton. For the tie. Ooh, a long-range missile from Halliburton.
You can really see their confidence growing as this game has gone on. They have reason to believe that.
What I love is the heart, the fire, the tenacity. This is absolutely fantastic.
Hey, you leave him open, he's going to make the defense pay for that level of disrespect.
Outside Neesmith. Here's the pick. Fires the 3. They get it back. Great positioning on the putback.
Well, you love the relentless energy from Siakam. It's sort of a staple of his game. Gets to the offensive glass there.
The 3 from Barnes. The Pacers pull it in. 1:09 left in the third.
Put that one-man show on Broadway.
That's one way to go with the alley-oop. Here's Pirtle. Oh, the teardrop falls in. He's got 10.
Well, the touch and the focus. What a pretty move in the lane.
Pass to Turner. Let's go with a 3. That shot off the mark. The Raptors with a lead. There's 45 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Lawson's shot is off. For Indiana, they've gotten 7 of 14 attempts to fall in the half. There's Neesmith with a 3, and that basket makes him 5 for 10. Steady production so far.
He really hooked the defender with that pump fake. It worked to perfection.
Shed, that's good. And the Raptors lead by 1. We've seen 5 lead changes so far. Neither team able to pull away.
Yeah, this game just feels like it's going to come down to the wire.
There's Neesmith with a 3. Rebound Toronto. Pirtle's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Here's Shed. That takes us to the end of the third quarter. What a game. Neither team giving ground. And while we have a chance, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'll tell you what, this was a no-brainer tonight. Take a look at the precision on this feed. Couldn't place it any better.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver, and he did just that.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. They've got Aaron Neesmith, Obi Toppin out there with Isaiah Jackson. Then there's Tyrese Halliburton, and it's McConnell in at the point. That's the 5 for the Pacers. Indiana again missing. And for the Raptors, they're shooting at about 44% so far. Toppin with a steal. There's Neesmith with a 3. Trains the triple. All right, guys, a breakdown here of the hustle stats for Indiana.
Yeah, they've collected an impressive number of steals so far, using fast hands to force some turnovers and then scoring on the other end.
And their fast break has also been a key metric in this one. They have had a significant advantage in transition over the course of this game.
It's deflected.
Well, you want the activity and the disruptive ability of R.J. Barrett to be on display. It is right there.
Walter from outside. Drops in the 3. Walters has gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. McConnell passes to Halliburton. Jackson outside. Hey, expanding his range. They grab their own miss. Outside Neesmith. Jackson with a screen on Barrett. Shot clock at 5. Neesmith passes to McConnell. There's the 3. Knocks down the long J. Tremendous momentum building toward those final possessions.
Yeah, with 8 lead changes so far, it feels like this is going to come down to the last shot.
Left side Ingram. Over Halliburton. The shot by Ingram, no good.
Boy, a miss like that will drive any scorer crazy, especially with the defender giving a cushion.
And Halliburton, the bucket on the assist by Toppin. And the Pacers lead by 5.
Here in the second half, they're really focused on stretching the floor.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
Jackson for 3. Walter pulls it in. Raptors trail by 5. It's tipped. Now the Pacers on the move. Jackson with it. And it's Ingram picking him up. And not often you see him take that shot.
Coming down the stretch, they've leaned on the perimeter game.
Boy, the three-point arc has been a major factor in what they've done here tonight. You love the aggressiveness.
And here's Ingram from the arc. Knocks down the triple.
And this guy is just a gamer. Ingram doesn't feel pressure. He embraces the moment, taking and making important shots.
There's Jackson with the 3. Rebounded by Ingram. Ingram's got his 6th rebound on the night. Inside. And they're pushing it up.
You have to be kidding me.
Wow, that's how you take things into your own hands. And there's 1:45 left to play in the 4th. Back to quickly. And the call is going to be, yes, an illegal screen.
Just an unacceptable turnover. You have to know where you are on the court.
You know, I guess the only good thing about it is it didn't turn into a fast break the other way. Dead ball turnover.
Hurdles checked in for Toronto. It's stolen by Barnes. Pass to Ingram. 3-pointer. And again, Toronto, no good.
Surprising to see him miss here, but they'll be happy with that shot in most possessions.
Halliburton misses. Raptors trail by 7. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Halliburton.
You see his active hands knocking that pass out of bounds.
Well, that's what you call a game of inches. They talk about it in football. We see it right there.
Here's Pirtle. And the Raptors miss again. Indiana on offense. They're on a 14-6 run. The ball's knocked loose. Toronto has gone 2 of 6 so far in the 4th. Ooh, excellent D there from Turner. Well, Grant, this game looks just about over.
BA, all they really need to do is just work that clock, don't turn it over, and this game is a wrap.
Halliburton on the wing, guarded by Quickly. Shoots a fadeaway. Halliburton misses. And Barrett has got the ball here for Toronto. And here's Ingram outside. Siakam pulls down the board.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
3-pointer, Halliburton. It's hauled in by the Raptors.
And you know they're extremely disappointed right now. I mean, this one getting away from them.
Well, they definitely have some things to work out, and you'd love to see them finish this game the right way.
So the Pacers take the win. Boy, a hard-fought game. They did a great job.